Hello, my name is Marlene Shields and I'm the Chief Executive of Capital Credit Union and also one of the founder members of the credit union. I am absolutely delighted to be part of the FinTech Talent second edition looking at building societies and credit unions' journeys to digital transformation. What I would like to do for the next 20 minutes is to talk about how our digital journey started at Capital Credit Union, where we are now and where we hope to get to. And also, I'd like to talk about why I think it is so important for credit unions to digitise. Before I begin to talk about our digital transformation journey, let me tell you a little bit more about Capital Credit Union. So the credit union is 31 years old, coming up 32 very soon, and we're managing around £45 million in assets on behalf of our 25,000 members. The credit union was set up in 1989 as an employee-based credit union to serve low-paid government employees who worked for the then Lothian Regional Council. In 2002, however, there was a change of regulator, and with that change, it brought around new types of common bond, which is the marketplace that credit unions can operate in. And when credit unions moved into the new regulatory framework, Capital Credit Union took the opportunity to change from serving solely local authority employees and their families to a credit union that served a whole community. We continue to serve that community today, which is the east of Scotland, running from the Scottish borders out to Falkirk and all the way up to Angus. The number of people that live or work in this area is 1.4 million people. So you can see we have a lot of work to do and endless scope to grow. Today, I would describe Capital Credit Union as a community credit union with a difference, in that we are serving two very distinct demographics. To the outside world, we are one credit union, but internally, this is what we look like. Around 75% of our members are in employment, many of whom are still government employees and join through the relationships we have with 75 employers across the east of Scotland, including the Scottish Parliament, Scottish Government, 10 local authorities, together with a mix of commercial and not-for-profit organisations, all of whom have taken the decision to support their employees by allowing their staff to build both a nest egg and financial resilience, and who offer free payroll savings to both the credit union and the employees. Capital Credit Union also provides products and services to around 5,000 members that either live on state benefits, which are paid directly to the credit union from the Department of Work and Pensions, or are in low-paid employment and would be classed as working poor. People who are financially excluded to some degree and generally cannot open accounts at high street banks or building societies. When looking at digital solutions in the credit union, we have to be really mindful that we do have two very distinct different demographics and that their needs are not always the same. But what about digitisation? As highlighted in the description for today's session, credit unions can often be behind the curve when it comes to digitisation, but this is changing. As the cost of transformation and digitising products and services becomes more affordable, many credit unions are now stepping into the 21st century and meeting the needs of more of their members through digital solutions such as apps, internet banking, open banking, and at a speed which is required in today's financial services, especially by the younger generations. Capital Credit Union is one such credit union that is on this transformation journey, which we believe is necessary to both retain existing members and, very importantly, to be able to attract new members. I don't think it is too dramatic to say that credit unions do need to digitise or die. So where did our journey to digitisation start? Well, Capital Credit Union has always been a forward-thinking credit union. It was the first credit union in the United Kingdom to offer mortgages to members, the first to take a risk-based approach to lending through checking a member's credit rating and using this to determine whether to lend or not. And I can tell you this was not a very popular approach to lending in credit unions 25 years ago. Capital Credit Union was also one of the first credit unions to offer current accounts. And in 2012, In collaboration with ScotWest Credit Union, we were the first credit union to use a Tier 1 banking platform to host our members' accounts and provide internet banking. I guess our journey to digitisation did indeed start in 2012 when we partnered with Tata Consulting Services, TCS, and ScotWest Credit Union to introduce that first Tier 1 banking platform on credit unions in the UK. Back then, however, the concern was less around digital and more around the security of our members' data and disaster recovery in particular. If our previous platform provider had had their own disaster, it could be days before a solution was available. Not something we wanted for all the obvious reasons, especially when you are the primary financial institute for members that have their benefits paid into the credit union and need to access funds quickly. The past 10 years has seen Capital Credit Union continue to partner with TCS, who are providing a global banking platform to over 400 financial institutions around the world, 4 of which are here in the United Kingdom. So I think it is fair to say that our journey to digital transformation actually really began in 2018 rather than 2012. The credit union periodically surveys our members to ascertain what they want from their credit union. And when we undertook member research in 2018, there was a resounding message from our members, which was twofold. The first message from our members was that they love their credit union. They love our ethics. The products and services we provide are good. But the second and very strong message was that the credit union was too clunky, too slow, and with too much friction in the process for saving and borrowing. I think it is fair to say that there was a will to change for many years, but digital transformation had previously, in our opinion, only been affordable to larger financial institutions and not credit unions. The board and leadership team got the wake-up call that was needed in 2018. Digitise or stay small and niche, but that wasn't part of our plan. Capital Credit Union has always had a vision to one day be the primary financial institution of choice for all of our members, but we need to grow to achieve this goal. So in 2018, we embarked on a 5-year digitisation strategy, a transformation strategy, which included a significant package of funding and using our capital to deliver a digital end-to-end offering to existing members and to new members. So just before I talk through some parts of the transformation program that I'd like to highlight today, I think it is also important to highlight and to reinforce that as part of our 5-year plan, we very much recognize that not all members want digital solutions. And it has been important for Capital to continue to have a traditional approach to products and services through branch banking with face-to-face services. And we will continue to provide access via face-to-face in branch for as long as our members want it. But let's have a look at an important part of our digital transformation strategy. And if we could pull up this slide, that would be really helpful. So what you see on screen is one part of our digital transformation strategy, from becoming a member to applying for a loan, and what our members have told us is important. Our journey is designed to remove friction and to make decisions at speed without increasing risks, and that applies to both becoming a member and to borrowing. So thinking about becoming a member, well, previously a new member had to either fill out a form and email it or post it to the credit union, or call the office and have someone fill out the form in the office. It was all done by hard copy. This whole process could take up to a week just to open an account and undertake ID checks. When it came to liaising with the payroll department and having the relevant paperwork in place, this could take a few more weeks. We undoubtedly lost people on this journey because of too much friction, and it took too long. So the first stage of transforming this process was to enable members to join online through our website. But even that first attempt took a little while to perfect, as the forms completed online then came into the office for manual ID and V checks. Many of our potential members failed ID and V, which didn't help. Today, members can join online via the credit union app, via the credit union website, and those members who want to can still join by calling the office or sending in a form. And then if we move on to applying for a loan, which is very much our bread and butter here at the credit union. This is the process that genuinely has provided the most angst, both to members and to the credit union. Currently, members can apply for a loan via the telephone, the credit union website, and by filling out a form, all of which go through a manual process in which a loans officer intervenes to approve or decline. Now, credit unions, we pride ourselves on treating members as people and not as numbers, i.e. computer says yes or computer says no. But we need to streamline this process and make it as frictionless as possible for both new and existing members. A simplified digital process is the goal, but we're not there yet. Open banking is very much a part of that solution, and we are building a program through our app that will provide a straight-through payment process for members that have borrowed before and have a good repayment history with the credit union. So what we're looking for is that a member can go online, they can go onto the app, they can complete an application form, they will be approved, and it's straight through from payment. Now that won't be for everyone for all the obvious reasons. And it might still seem a little clunky, but you have to remember the credit unions are lending someone else's savings, and we won't apologise for making sure that we are doing everything to ensure that we lend responsibly and to members that can afford to pay. I mentioned ID&V. The new credit union app will use Experian to deliver an enhanced KYC process and ultimately use of digital contracts and signatures. Although digital signatures on a loan agreement brings a different risk in Scotland, in that without a wet signature on a loan agreement, it is a much longer process, more involved process to seek court action in the event of a default. ID&V checks can also be a challenge for many credit unions as a result of the demographics we serve, i.e. people who are more transient, who are not registered on the voters roll, or with very poor or no credit rating. We haven't yet found an easy solution in these circumstances, but we are working on it. And I mentioned open banking. I think it is fair to say that open banking has not yet been adopted as whole-scale as it might be. There is no doubt that access to a member's finances can help make better lending decisions and create a more streamlined approach. Capital Credit Union is currently developing a new process for lending that includes using open banking. This will help us de-risk lending as a result of having a more complete picture on a member's income and expenditure. Together with their credit rating, this should enable us to make better lending decisions and reduce bad debt write-off. Open banking we see as a major tool to help ensure we are lending to members that can afford to repay, and that we don't lend to members if our loan would take them to a debt cliff edge. We can pull the slide down, please. Thank you. The last thing I do want to talk about from this particular part of our digital transformation is speed. Everyone wants their financial services delivery at their fingertips and fast, especially when it comes to moving funds. Same-day loan decisions and payout through faster payments is fast becoming the norm, and this needs to be the case in credit unions. But most credit unions are not there yet, and there is more work to be done, more investment to be made in digitisation. Increasingly, members are accessing capital services through a variety of channels that involves technology. As the credit union grows, it is intended that technology will be utilised to enable credit union staff to work smarter, to deliver credit union services and communications to members. And this will include enhancing further our mobile app. We want to develop our app to play an integral role in two-way communications with members and also marketing to members. I mentioned electronic paperwork. This will be a priority in 2022 and will include digital signatures and loan paperwork, which will be a game changer for Capital Credit Union and our members. Improving our website Capital's website continues to be developed as a PR tool for both existing and potential members. Indeed, in 2022, an upgraded website will be developed to increase awareness and improve functionality. Enhanced web interaction will be developed, including web chat, online forums, surveys, and increased use of audio and visual platforms in addition to our digital app. Electronic member communications, more use of e-zines, getting more information out to members through digital marketing campaigns will be a key focus in our digital marketing strategy. And this will be very much aligned with our net zero strategy as well. No more printing 25,000 newsletters, no more printing 25,000 letters to members. Those days are gone. And as far as digital and social media, we will continue to invest heavily in social media communications over the course of the year and to ensure our members are kept informed about products and services and as a tool to attract new members. But there are challenges. There are many challenges still to face when it comes to credit unions digitizing. Most credit unions do not employ IT professionals, and all but a very few have access to this expertise internally. Digital transformation usually ends up being the responsibility of the chief executive. We are having to learn very quickly what is available in the marketplace, how it all works, and what the cost and benefits are to our credit unions. It is a challenge to try and cut through who can do what and at what cost when it comes to engaging with fintechs and to deliver digital solutions for credit union members. And it can be very costly if you get it wrong, both financially and reputationally. It is much like learning a new language. Who knew a few years ago that apps would drive all of our habits, whether shopping, dining, or banking? And that there are so many different APIs and that they don't all do the same thing. Who knew that technology could create a more level playing field as banks had to change their legacy systems and SMEs could access the same technology to deliver financial services regardless of size? There is no doubt today that vision and being bold can provide a market edge. It's not just about spend. But what of the future? At Capital Credit Union, as I mentioned, our ultimate goal in the future is to be the primary financial institution for all of our members. But we are not there yet. Indeed, we have some way to go. Some of this is down to restrictive legislation, some of it is down to restrictive regulation, but it is no longer down to cost and a lack of capital investment. The changing marketplace now allows for even the smallest financial institutions to digitize to some extent. At CCU, we are about to enter year 4 of our 5-year digital transformation plan, and we have concentrated most of our efforts on digitizing products and services that are member-facing. And we still have much work to do to digitize processes internally. We have made great progress, but there is still a way to go and we're not there yet. What we can say, however, to our members, you spoke and we listened, and we are on that journey together. We are setting out to make our credit union less clunky, faster at making decisions, and using technology to communicate to our members. For credit unions to survive and thrive, investment in digital solutions and transformation is not a nice to have. I believe it is a necessity. I also believe that credit unions need to work collaboratively, that there is strength in working together, learning together, and delivering common services through scale. Working together in collaboration with others will also increase standards in credit unions as best practice becomes the norm in the provision of savings and loans. If credit unions cannot compete in price and delivery, they could be in danger of losing the market share they already have. Our ethics are really important to many of our members, but members also want speed, ease of engagement, and to be listened to. Many credit unions have aging memberships, and if they cannot keep up and deliver products and services that younger generations are demanding, they will struggle to survive or gain scale in the future. So, digitize or die. Let's not test that theory. Progressive credit unions are already on the journey to be fit for the 21st century, using digital transformation to bring about the best member experience. With that uniqueness of being member-owned and member-controlled, and with ethics in our DNA, it is, I believe, a winning formula. Thank you for your patience and your participation today, and I hope you enjoy the conference. Thank you.